It is Thursday, August 21st. This is Jaguars Happy Hour. Jaguars Happy Hour is brought to you by Heritage of North Florida. And now, for tonight's show, the guy who'll decide which one's Crockett and which one's Tubbs, J.P. Shadrick.
And it is Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and remodeling company. And we have a busy 2 hours ahead. Happy Hour this hour. The Liam Coen Show coming up at 5 o'clock. A Jaguars-Dolphins practice review. The teams met on the practice fields today, and we'll get a review of that practice session over at the Dolphins facility outside of Hard Rock Stadium. Playing time expectations in the game on Saturday night. And then, of course, the roster cut looming next week down to 53 going on Tuesday at 4 o'clock. And then the Liam Coen Show at 5. As we mentioned earlier in this preseason, no head coach until week 1 of the regular season. We've got James Gladstone and Tony Boselli scheduled to join us here tonight on 1010XL AM, 92.5 FM, Jaguars.com, and Jaguars YouTube. JP Shadrick with Jeff Lageman joining us now. We're at the Team Hotel in Fort Lauderdale, ground central for the Jaguars all week long here in South Florida. Logs, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You know what I was just thinking? Thank God we don't have a coach's show with Mike McDaniel.
Why is that?
You ever listen to that guy?
What did he have
Did
to
you
say?
see him out on the field today?
I saw him today, yeah.
I mean, Jaguar fans, be happy you've got Liam Coen. Mike McDaniel's, he's an odd bird now.
How so, Logs?
Have you ever watched his press conferences live?
A few, yes. Yes.
Did you remember anything from him?
I remember that they're interesting.
I mean, he's all over the map. And, and the thing that he's probably not going to last very long, I don't think, here in Miami. But you look at him out there on the practice, and here's what I saw today. I see a coach that's wearing a look-at-me outfit and a team that is all dressed in different ways, shapes, and form. I mean, there's if Tom Coughlin were to watch a Mike McDaniel coach team, he would lose his mind.
Huh.
Mike McDaniel was wearing school bus yellow sneakers today.
Okay.
Okay. What part of the Miami Dolphins uniform has school bus yellow?
I'm not familiar with the whole Dolphins attire, but I'm sure not much.
None.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were like orange, all right, there's a little orange in the Miami Dolphins uniform.
A lot of orange, yeah.
Or white, or what do you call that?
Aqua.
Oh, okay. I'm down with that. But to wear a non-team colored outfit and then a non-team colored set of shoes, and he's wearing sunglasses in the indoor facility, it's like screaming, "Look at me." The last time I checked, it's not about me, it's about we when it comes to coaching football. I mean, you want to talk about a bad example. I mean, maybe I'm just one of these old guys, get off my grass,
It sounds
kind
like
of thing or something. I don't know.
There might be hints of that coming out right now.
I don't know. I mean, maybe Coughlin's brainwashed me. I don't know.
Finally, it took this long. He's been trying for years, decades, in fact, to brainwash you.
It was just very interesting. And seriously, if you looked across the board at the Miami Dolphins players, nobody had the same pants on. Some guys had game pants that were cut off.
Yeah.
That were like Daisy Dukes, okay? And then
They weren't that high, but okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Jaguars uniform, everybody had the same thing on.
Yeah.
That's a pretty novel approach, isn't it?
I mean, okay.
If you can't get a team to dress as a team and dress the same, how can you get them to play as a team?
That's a great
I just don't
question.
quite understand that. But anyway, just
All right, let's give this a game.
I feel for the Miami Dolphin fans.
We're going to get to the practice and all that coming up. There's a lot going on in practice today, but
a lot.
Yeah, it was an interesting.
Was it a practice or at times a boxing match?
Yes, at times it was. However, this was the first and only day the Jaguars had a joint practice all training camp. Mm-hmm. This was the third different one for the Dolphins.
Right.
I mean, I mean,
they had one with Detroit, one with Chicago, and they did it on like one travel loop.
Big long trip.
I was actually talking to Nat Moore and Dan Marino out there at the practice field, and they were telling me about it. And I was like, yeah, I said, I sure would like to see maybe a longer, more involved practice. And they were saying, yeah, the coach thinks that, they've already had a couple of them on their northern shift. And so one of the reasons why it was a shorter practice typically when you compare it to other practices that the Jaguars have been involved in with another team.
PRI Productions, the official event production company of the Jags, has everything you need to bring your next idea to life. Visit PRIProductions.com. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on 1010XL, 92.5 FM. JP Shadrick with Jeff Lageman. What is the best thing you saw on the practice field from the Jacksonville Jaguars today?
Oh, the best thing.
Between the lines.
Were you talking about just play on the field?
Yes.
I thought the defense played really well today. I do. I mean, Tua had no Tyreek Hill, but he still had his dynamic other wide receiver from
Jalen Waddle.
Squad, Jalen Waddle, who's a really good player.
He's a problem.
And he did make one play down the field. But, I mean, overall, I thought the defense was really good in the 2-minute. The defense was really good overall. I think it was a frustrating day for the Miami Dolphins offense. So, I mean, that was good to see. And I watched a little bit of both. I thought the offensive line got, I don't want to say handled a little bit in one-on-one, but they got tested a little bit in one-on-one. Miami Dolphins got some guys.
They've got some talent and high drafted talent and high paid talent on that defensive end.
And that showed through. And
you got Nick Chubb over there. Phillips is on the other side.
Did you say McChubb?
Nick, what's his name?
Bradley Chubb.
Bradley Chubb.
Yeah.
Wrong Chubb. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Bradley Chubb. They just traded for Matthew Judon, who, by the way, got reps today. Or not traded for, he signed him as a free agent. He's bounced around everywhere. He's been with the Patriots. Last year was the Atlanta Falcons. He's a good player. And Jalen Phillips is a really good football player, in my opinion. And then Chop Robinson, the kid from Penn State. I mean, he's small
compared to the rest.
I mean, compared to like Jalen Phillips is like a 6'5", 270 pound or something like that. Chop Robinson is 6'3", 250, and then that 250 may be or they list him at 254. That may be inflated, but the guy can play football. So I thought that was a real good test for the Jaguars' offensive line and a really good thing to experience prior to going in the regular season.
Liam Coen told us last week on the pregame show interview just before kickoff he'd like to have the offensive line settled after this practice. You think they've got the starting five in place, and who would it be in your opinion?
Well,
we'll talk to the GM and Boselli a little bit.
Well, they don't have any. That's not their call.
It's the head coach.
That's
right.
Coach's call.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm expecting kind of what we've been seeing: Walker Little, Ezra Cleveland, Robert Hainsey, Patrick McCarry, and then Anton Harrison. But I really believe that when you're a first-year coach and you're going into the first season with the franchise, things aren't always written in stone. You're willing to do whatever is best to make this football team the best that it can be at the end of the season. So they may start out with that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they end up with that. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
So stay tuned. I think that's something to keep an eye on as the season progresses and as performances get analyzed and looked at and graded, et cetera. And then I think you'll see where they go from there. But you also have a couple guys that are injured that I think are not necessarily going to be factors as soon as they come back, but maybe soon after they come back.
Who's that?
Well, look, Cole Van Lannen's got an injury, and whenever he comes back, he's a guy that's got experience playing tackle and has been pretty good playing tackle before, especially right. And then Wyatt Milam, who I was kind of singing his praises the last couple weeks as maybe being a top 5 offensive lineman, I think he could factor into that equation a little bit when he gets back. Now, I don't know exactly what the injury is, But we'll see how that goes.
I guess we will see how that goes in the coming weeks ahead.
I talked to him a little bit today. He said he says he's doing okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I asked him, because the last play that he played in that game against the Saints, I just assumed that was the play that he got hurt on. And so I asked him, I said, was your last play the one you got hurt on? I said, you got kind of a bull rush and you were having a hard time kind of setting the anchor out. He said, no, it was a couple plays before. And he goes, and that's why I was having a hard time setting the anchor.
There you go. Yeah.
So I'll have to go back and actually see if I can find the play that it happened on. But he's a good football player. And I said this today, and I hope I don't give myself a speeding ticket. I don't remember an offensive lineman coming into this football team playing at the level that he has. And I mean, I'm saying now Boselli's different. I'm not talking about going back to that. I'm talking recently, in recent Jaguars history.
Like how far back? 10 years?
I mean, you go back and
15 years?
Yeah, I mean, look, Anton Harrison, when he came in, was pretty good. But I don't think there has been an offensive lineman that has come in ever in Jaguars history. And this, bear with me now. I'm not trying to.
There's a lot of caveats here.
Name me another Jaguars offensive lineman in history. And this is also a question for all of us at the table here, because there's people behind the camera that people can't see. Okay, name me another offensive lineman in Jaguars history that has come in and has been able to play 4 out of the 5 offensive lineman positions and play it really well. There's nobody.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, I was racking my brain yesterday because I was, sitting there thinking about it. I said, man, when's the last time a guy came in that could play all 4?
Yeah, not center, but
he probably could snap if they asked him to.
Probably.
I mean, I think he's got that level of talent that he could just do whatever he wants. Now, is he going to be a starter right away? That may not be the case. But I think there's a reason to be excited about him for the future, because I believe that he is a future building block for this organization going forward.
See, like Brad Meester might be the guy that if you had to throw him out at tackle, he could just compete, and he was that kind of dude, for a day.
Yeah, but
but the other interior stuff, he was great.
Yeah, I mean, Brad could do center and he could play guard. Yeah. I mean, so if you're focusing on staying in the middle, but now Brad at tackle, I think Brad would not have a very good day at tackle.
But he would give it give it a go. At least.
I mean, in a pinch, but he wouldn't have, I don't think, the level of play.
I can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to come up with, but
multiple guys that can do it.
Let's go. I mean, and why it's a 3rd-round pick. I mean, let's go back to last year's draft. Javon Foster in the 4th round out of Missouri. He's probably not going to make this team.
It doesn't feel like
I mean, Luke Fortner, who they just traded. I mean, a 3rd-round pick from a couple years ago, and. Yep. I mean, look, part of the reason why this organization is where it's at has been reasons like that.
Well, and then Foster wasn't up for really any games last year, was he?
I'll tell you this:
inactive.
If he wasn't Trent Baalke's draft pick, he wouldn't have made the active roster. I mean, that's the reason why he made the active roster. And then look, I mean, he should have made practice squad at best last year. To be honest with you. Mm-hmm. And you can't operate a franchise like that and expect to get better when it's about your draft picks instead of making the team the best that it can be.
We've got plenty ahead. Coming up at 5 o'clock, Liam Coen Show. We'll have the head coach week 1 of the regular season. But tonight, James Gladstone and Tony Boselli live with us for the final time in the preseason. Get ready for the Jaguars 5K Sports Complex Challenge. It's this Saturday, August 23rd. You'll race through Jacksonville, finish strong at ViStar Ballpark. That's the old baseball grounds. And see your victory moment live on the big screen. Register today, 904-633-2000, or email ticketing at jaguars.com. We're back with position battles still looming. There are a few, and this is Jaguars Happy Hour.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Boselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags.
It's game time, Jaguars fans. This season, feed your fandom with the Jaguars sub from Publix, the official supermarket of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow. Sink your teeth into crispy chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, melted cheddar, sweet coleslaw, and smoky barbecue mayo, all stacked on a fresh white roll. Taste the hype only at Jacksonville Publix locations. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with Everbank. Open an Everbank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. Everbank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Are you ready to love how you feel, look, and live in every season? At Elace, we offer more than just luxury med spa treatments. We provide a serene, judgment-free space where you can reconnect with the best version of you. Whether you want to refresh your natural look with Botox or Dysport, pamper yourself with a relaxing hydrofacial, or rejuvenate your complexion with laser resurfacing, our expert team in Jacksonville is here to tailor treatments to your needs. Visit Elace.com today and start your journey to loving yourself.
Hey, Jags fans, stop dreaming of creating your game day fan cave and build the Jaguars den of your dreams with ZipChair. When it comes to maximum comfort, ZipChair.com is the only place for officially licensed Jaguars recliners, sofas, bar stools, office and gaming chairs, all featuring high-quality embroidered Jags logos. Crack open a few cold ones in the comfort of a Zip Chair and make your home the place to be on game day. Head over to ZipChair.com and save 20% today. Use code JagsRadio at checkout. ZipChair.com, furniture for fans.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
You're out of a different comfort zone when you're against somebody else, right? In a different arena, seeing different things. And so maybe things that maybe can get let go in practice when you're just going against each other, well, it's not going to fly. Somebody else is going to probably take advantage of it. So, that was a couple good learning lessons for us in the red zone on both sides of the ball. So it was good.
Practice today at the Dolphins facility just outside Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, and welcome back. We're at the Team Hotel in Fort Lauderdale. JP Shadrick with Jeff Lageman. It is Jaguars Happy Hour, and don't miss your chance to score an exclusive Brian Thomas Jr. bobblehead and a ticket to see the Jags take on the Chargers, Colts, or the Jets at the bank. One bobblehead comes with every ticket. Get yours today at jaguars.com/bobblehead or call 904-633-2000. The Hyundai Studios on the road this week for Jaguars Happy Hour on 1010XL, 92.5 FM, Jaguars.com, and Jaguars YouTube after the joint practice today. Our weekly Travis Hunter update. We don't have the theme music tonight. That's okay. Travis Hunter did not work in the team periods today. Liam Coen said after practice that, you know what, if it was Carolina week, he'd probably play. No reason to push the issue in such a competitive practice today for Travis Hunter, and the same thing for Tyson Campbell on the defensive side.
You know what I loved about watching Travis today? Yeah. Is that, he's a superstar, right? I mean, one of the biggest stars in the league, former Heisman Trophy winner, probably the biggest star from the outside perspective looking in to the Jaguars. And he's a guy that's out there practice today, and if guys had a towel and were using a towel in the huddle, he went over there and grabbed the towel from them after they were done, like trying to help them out. I was like, look, I said, that's pretty cool. I mean, when you have a guy who's humble enough to help his teammates out and grab their towel for them and take it from them, I mean, it's like, all right, cool. You don't feel, in other words, you don't want to have a superstar who always feels like or acts like he's better than anybody else. And that's what I love about Travis, is that I think he's very grounded.
Probably, and is not going to play in the game on Saturday against the Dolphins, so he'll have all this time to be ready to go for Week 1 against Carolina. And
I think
whatever that plan is.
And I think it's going to be really interesting to see exactly what that plan is. And we're not going to know what that plan is until we get to Sunday at 1 o'clock on kickoff weekend. And the reason I say that is that, we all have this expectation about what the talk was going to be and the evolution of working him towards the being a true two-way player. But will that be the case? I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see. I mean, I think that there had to be – you have to be able to trust it to do it. And because, remember, at the end of the day, it's about winning games. It's not about making Travis Hunter a two-way player. So the coaches have to be comfortable in the role that they're going to ask him to do. And and we haven't seen, and trust is a hard thing to gain sometimes. Sometimes instead of trust, it's got to be based on faith, that, hey, we believe he can do this. And so I think that that's going to be one of the most interesting things about game day. I think it's going to be probably the number one reason that a lot of people tune into this game that are from the outside, that are not Jaguar fans or Carolina Panther fans that are watching this game, is to see what he does as a two-way player, or maybe not a two-way player. I don't know.
That's what he does, period, right?
Yeah.
No matter whether it's two ways or one way or whatever way. We'll find out Week 1 against Carolina for Travis Hunter. So there's still one game to go in the preseason. That means there are still reps out there.
I got a feeling, though, JP. I mean, are we really going to call this a game?
Logs are keeping score. They're going to play 60 minutes. You're going to be here calling it on radio.
No, I will tell you this. Look, there's probably going to be a lot of guys that aren't going to play. And I'm talking Miami Dolphins and Jaguars.
Yes.
When you have a practice 2 days prior to a game, the guys that get a lot of reps in that situation are more than likely maybe not playing.
Well, let me ask you this from this perspective. What position battles are still out there that we need to see on the grass on Saturday night?
In my opinion, the linebacking position, I think, is still being analyzed.
The depth of that.
I think it's the depth, and I think maybe even the starting role. I mean, last week, all of a sudden, we saw Devin Lloyd start the game, but then was taken out for the second series, and Ventrell Miller was in there for a very large chunk of playing time.
Yes.
And then Devin Lloyd went back in. Okay, now if Devin Lloyd didn't go back in, I'd be like, hey, they're just letting him get ready for the regular season. I think that bears worth watching.
Have they figured out fifth receiver yet, you think?
No.
That's still out there.
No, I think that's something that is ongoing. I think that's going to be a battle that's going to happen in this game. And a lot of that may have to do with the performance of these guys on special teams.
Absolutely.
Because here's the question. Are you saying that Travis Hunter is a wide receiver on that count of 5? Right? I mean, so I think that's going to be an interesting watch. The ability to play special teams is going to be a huge factor, I think, with that next wide receiver.
Because you only had Tim Jones was that guy for the last few years, right? Playing teams and the last receiver. Got limited offensive reps. They're rarely going 5 wide. And it took injuries for him to be in the lineup on offense a lot. But
the one guy that just kind of intrigues me just because he's very willing. A lot of wide receivers aren't very willing to play special teams. You know what I mean? I mean, they might pay a little lip service to it. But when you turn on the film, that, I think, tells you whether somebody really wants to do it or not. Are they being physical? Are they running full speed? Are they running full speed in the face of contact?
Right.
Are they straining to get to the ball? And you watch some guys and it's like, I got to do this. And there's other guys that you can sit there and go, oh, he wants to do this. And the film tells you that. The film is speaking to you. And the one guy I think that's going to be an interesting watch, I think, in this last game, and he's going to probably get a lot of play time because of the limited play time that I'm expecting out of some of the starters, is Chandler Brayboy. He's got the size and he's got the desire to do it. Now,
second time you mentioned his name in the last 2 weeks.
He's just got. I mean, look, JP. I mean, I
rookie out of Elon.
I watch those guys and I watch them closely on special teams, because the reality is that if you're the fifth or the sixth wide receiver, whatever you're looking at from a count standpoint, tell me the impact that they're going to make as an actually true wide receiver. I mean, it's not going to happen. Okay? I mean, they've got 4 wide receivers that they love. If all of a sudden, if something happens to one of those wide receivers, what are they going to do? Well, okay, we'll just stick with the 3 that we've got if something happens to one of the 4. And then if something happens beyond that, then it's kind of an emergency situation. I mean, the teams are going to go with something that they're very comfortable with, which, look, you got some really good tight ends and you got a very deep running back room. So you may turn more into those positional directions to get that need filled if you had an injury at the wide receiver spot. So that's what I'm saying, is that special teams has to be a big factor for that, or those spots that are past Parker Washington.
What about on offensive line? How deep do you go? 9, 10?
I think it's 10.
And who are those last couple guys to fill the – we're digging deep into inside football.
Look, I mean, I'm thinking 10. I mean, you got, the starters that we kind of mentioned earlier, Walker Little, Ezra Cleveland, Robert Hainsey, Patrick McCarry, Anton Harrison. Now we go to the next line of guys, and, you got Fred Johnson is 6. Wyatt Milam is 7. Jonah Monheim is 8. Edoga is 9, and Cole Van Landen is 10. I think Wormley,
a couple of those guys could start the season in theory. Would you start them on IR to return?
Well, to get it. Well, depends
on how bad the injuries are.
Yeah, some of those guys could start there to gain you a little flexibility somewhere else.
Right.
I think that's a possibility. I think Javon Foster may be a guy that could go to practice squad. I think Sal Wormley is an absolute given at practice squad. I'm looking forward to watching him play tomorrow, or not tomorrow, on Saturday, because he's a guy that was a Penn State guy, was somewhat of a priority free agent. He's been playing guard, and that's kind of where he played at in college. But they have moved him to center. I think he's going to get some snaps at center. And here's an opportunity for him to put some really good stuff on film. And maybe end up on an active roster somewhere else. I mean, you never know. And here's the reality, JP. Mm-hmm. If a guy could literally have stunk up the field all training camp long, okay? Seriously, you could have on this roster, out of the guys that are playing, they could have stunk. They could have been terrible on practice. If they go out and they put one hell of a game on film, it doesn't matter what happened in all of training camp, because all the other teams in the league aren't seeing this guy in practice.
Yeah.
They don't know he's been stinking it up in practice.
I mean, they in theory might call around and ask and see, but you don't see it.
But, do you think that
they're going to let you see the practice
J.P.
film?
Shadrick, the general manager or a personnel guy of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is going to give you the straight skinny?
That's right.
I mean, no.
Yeah.
Because you're going to give me the opinion what's going to benefit you. So they're not going to trust
That's what I often do.
They're going to watch the film to get what they believe is the truth on a player. So every player that's playing in this game on Saturday night has a great opportunity. What they did in the past doesn't matter. If they put on some great film, it's going to give them a chance and an opportunity at other places. And I'm talking many other places.
31 other teams in the NFL. There's a league in Canada,
you never know,
too.
JP. You put good film out there, man, and then somebody's going to see it.
From the backyard to the beaches, the Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board gives you the power of a mobile generator. Ford, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. See your local Ford dealer today. We're back in a moment, and a couple of big fellows on the D-line back on the field this week, Logs. We got to get into that. On the interior. And, yes, a new face traded in since we've last spoken on the air as well. On 1010XL, 92.5 FM, Jaguars.com, and Jaguars YouTube, it's Jaguars Happy Hour.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Boselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
It's here that a tiny newborn has the heart surgery needed to save her life. It's here that a first grader learns to speak clearly and confidently. It's here that a 12-year-old athlete builds the strength to run full speed again. It's here at Wolfson Children's Hospital that answers are found, courage is shown, and odds are beaten every day. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Is your organization ready to tackle its toughest challenges? For 3 decades, CSI Companies based in Jacksonville has been the trusted workforce partner for leading healthcare and technology providers nationwide. Whether finding the right talent for a specific job, advising on a strategic project, or offering seamless managed services, they tailor every solution to fit your needs. CSI brings trusted expertise and a people-first approach to your organization. Get the job done right. Together, we go further. Learn more at CSICompanies.com.
It's game time, Jaguars fans. This season, feed your fandom with the Jaguars sub from Publix, the official supermarket of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow! Sink your teeth into crispy chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, melted cheddar, sweet coleslaw, and smoky barbecue mayo, all stacked on a fresh white roll. Taste the hype only at Jacksonville Publix locations. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with EverBank. Open an EverBank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. EverBank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Speaking individually, there was a couple throws I missed, and then just a couple miscommunications. You know, and it's good to go against a different defense. We've been going against our defense all camp, so just to see different looks, different disguises, to have to really play each play as its own and go back to some of our base rules is good for us as an offense, and kind of just measuring stick, like, hey, this is where we're at. This is kind of what we showed today. Let's learn from it and get better. So I think that's just an honest assessment of today. There's some stuff to clean up, but I thought guys competed hard, flew around. Just got to clean up some of the details.
It's Trevor Lawrence after today at the Dolphins practice facility after the joint practice. And welcome back, JP Shadrick with Jeff Lageman from the Team Hotel down in Fort Lauderdale. It's Jaguars Happy Hour from the Hyundai Studios on the road on 1010XL, 92.5 FM, Jaguars.com, and Jaguars YouTube. Let's touch on the quarterback real quick. I think he kind of summed it up there a little bit today, and even more. And you can hear the whole press conference at Jaguars.com and Jaguars YouTube, free websites. But he talks a little bit about his struggle today. Just didn't feel there were moments where he threw a couple picks and things. But hey, guess what? This is really about it. I mean, he's not playing in the game. They're going to have some practices next week, and then they'll probably have a bonus practice going into the Week 1 game. But in terms of full speed, all out practices, today was the last one for the quarterback.
Yeah, that's. I was hoping that the progress would be a little bit more, but the reality is that there's time to continue to make more. Big test coming up against Carolina, And I'm glad it's not an opening day against, a team that's got loftier expectations out of them. It's good to start with Carolina, but at the same token, Carolina Panthers are saying the exact same thing. Well, it's good that we're starting with Jacksonville.
What an opportunity.
That's a winnable game. They're not great, and so he's got a couple weeks to get better, and and then the tests come. And the evaluations continue. This is year 5 for him. And I expect him, he needs to take a big step this year. And number one of those steps is staying healthy. That's nothing that's ever completely in your control. But you do control some of that, when you slide, when you choose to take chances, when you choose to make a strong throw in the face of pressure, make the decision sometimes to live to play another down. I mean, all of those things I think are in his control, and he's got to make improvement on some of the obvious stuff. You go back to the scrimmage, you had a red zone interception. Last week you had a red zone fumble. Mm-hmm. Those things can happen. For a quarterback in year 5 that's going to be your franchise guy. That stuff's got to get cleaned up. And I think another great opportunity to hone his game against the Miami Dolphins and to learn a lot from it.
Time now for the Jaguars defensive coverage of the game presented by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association, benefits for federal employees and retirees. And not necessarily the game this week, but in the practices this week. Eric Armstead and Mason Smith back on the practice field this week. Smith back in pads for the first time today. They've been off to the side for a little while, both of these guys. What did you see out of them today, first time out?
In the limited reps that I watched, Eric Armstead and Mason Smith, I thought they did pretty good. I thought Eric had one play in particular that really stood out, that he got really good pressure on the quarterback, which is really, that's what you need him for. You need him to be a guy to affect the passer from the inside, because right now the only way you're going to get any kind of that pressure is from moving, somebody else down inside, whether that's Trey or somebody else. But defensive tackle spot, they need him. I thought Mason Smith had a real nice play against the run to where he stoned his guy, and then he made a real nice, powerful tackle. That was good to see. And I don't know what injury he had. It's got a lower leg. Is it Achilles? Yeah. Is it a calf? Or is it, I don't know what it is. But everything that I read, and when you hear medical people talk about that area, they say that that's an area you got to be really, really cautious with. And so that's probably the reason why that there has been a slower amount of progress, so to speak, or at least observed progress.
A longer runway ramp-up period.
Correct, because I think that's one of the situations that it needs the time to heal properly, and if not, then you're going to have a player that's going to have something nag him all year long, and you hope that doesn't occur for him, because he's a young player. The more reps he gets, he's going to be better for it. And I really like him. I think he's got a great personality. He works hard. He's tough.
He looks the part.
He totally looks the part. He's a total off of the bus club member. And
he's one of the first guys you want out. Trayvon Walker. I want Mason Smith.
Yeah.
I'll take Fred Johnson.
Fred Johnson first off the bus.
Yeah,
man.
You know what? He's number one.
He's number one.
The tackle. There's a handful of those guys.
By the way, I sat next to him on the bus, and man, the guy can eat. There's a reason why he's so big. He's a man that can eat. I mean, like eat all the time. It wasn't even mealtime, and he was over there eating.
Jaguars.
What's he weigh, you think?
Fred Johnson. I'll tell you what he's listed at. Fred Johnson's listed at 326.
Ain't no way.
6'7", 326.
No. I'm going to go ask him. I'm going to ask him the next time I see him and ask him, what is your true weight? He'll give me an honest answer. What do you think? If you had to guess?
35.
You think he's 35? Dave is saying 345. Oof, that's I think that. We got a 340. Being a guess, and Joe, we got a 47.
$1, Bob.
All right, we're all right around these 47s here. I think he's a big man. I can tell you this. He's not a biscuit within 325. I can tell you that.
Well, we'll get the answer to that week one.
He's a big biscuit away from 325.
Yeah. So back to the defensive line quickly. Earlier this week, Jaguars made a trade. Colin Saunders brought in from the Saints. They send the offensive lineman to the Saints right after the game. Colin Saunders says he's at home playing Fortnite and gets a phone call after the game and said, "You mean I'm going to the team that we just played tonight?" "Yeah, you are." And so he's coming to this defensive line, 6 foot, 324.
Yeah.
And a veteran player, has 2 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, and a lot of people look at that and say, well, the Jaguars have injuries to the defensive tackles with Eric Armstead and Mason Smith. That's why they went out and got Colin Saunders. No, that's not right. And that's totally incorrect. Colin Saunders plays the one technique. He plays where Devon Hamilton and Jordan Jefferson play. Okay, he's one of those big space eaters, run pluggers, whatever you want to call them. And to be honest, I understand why the trade was made. Number one, you've got a very talented rookie that's playing center in Monheim who has flexibility at playing guard spots as well and playing them better than Fortner. Fortner, give him credit, and I got to say this, Fortner got better this year. He did. He got better. And I know that he has been kind of a weak spot here for the Jaguars in the past and a little bit disappointing. A lot disappointing at times, but give him credit. He got better. He kept working hard, even through getting benched and everything else. And so I think that's a good acquisition for both teams. The Saints needed a center. They had a significant injury for their starter. Luke Fortner gives them a guy that's got starts under his belt, can start right away. Very smart guy.
Or depth, whatever they need him to do.
Yeah, and then the Jaguars get a defensive tackle that at a spot that they need because, Jordan Jefferson right now, I don't have him making this team. His performance hasn't shown me that he should make this team. And Devon Hamilton just been kind of okay.
But how many nose tackles do you really need, right?
Two tops. Tops.
Yeah.
So.
And you just traded for Saunders. He's not going anywhere. And Hamilton's got a big number. He's probably not going anywhere.
No, I don't see him going anywhere, but he's got to get better. Okay.
Who are you starting?
Probably Devon to start the year, and then we go from there.
Because he just got here. Colin Saunders.
Yeah, JP, rocket science. Okay.
Okay.
And playing defensive line, don't get confused.
Here's a question. All right.
They never get confused amongst each other.
I had this conversation with somebody in the building the other day. What are the positions that you can make an acquisition this late or later in training camp and be comfortable throwing them out on the field immediately?
Anywhere on the defensive line.
My answer is nose tackle. It's a one technique. You don't do that.
I would love to sit here and sing the praises of the intelligence level needed to play defensive line. I would love nothing better.
Yeah.
But I would be lying. It's not that hard. It's not that hard at all. Linebacker, a little different. You got calls, you got adjustments, you got to play the run, you have a gap responsibility, events pass, and you got a pass responsibility, and you got different drop combinations based on route combinations. That's a totally different world.
And offensive line is the same way. You got calls and checks, and you're protecting the most valuable asset on the team behind you, too, the quarterback.
No doubt.
You don't want to screw that up.
No doubt. But for somebody that you can sign like tomorrow and then play the day after, okay, defensive line. Defensive tackle would be, you're probably right. The nose tackle would probably be right at the top of the list because it's a two down position.
I'm not going to tell him that to his face.
Well, why not? He knows that.
He's aware?
Defensive linemen know.
Okay.
It's not that hard. Now look, if you're playing in a different defensive coordinator's defense, okay, let's say a Brian Flores defense, and things might get a little bit more complicated.
Because you're dropping back.
Yeah,
blitzes.
A nose tackle on Pete Carroll's defense, okay, going back to when Pete Carroll was my defensive coordinator and head coach from, that would have been 1990 all the way to 1994. We had nose tackles dropping into coverage, and they had to know which direction to go. But, JP, it was either left or right.
This guy had an interception against the Chiefs last year.
Yeah,
Colin Saunders.
Fire zone, drop the nose. You know how a lot of times you have teams that will have a fire zone, Okay, and a fire zone is that you're playing zone. You're given the impression that you're blitzing, but you're really not. You're just sending an extra blitzer, but it's really not an extra blitzer because you're dropping. You know how the fans always complain, oh, my God, Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon are dropping into coverage. What are we doing? Why are we doing that? That's not what they do best. Well, I mean, you're doing that to mix it up. And a lot of teams, instead of dropping the ends, will actually choose to drop the nose tackles. Now, look. You know, the rotundness of your nose tackles.
Why'd you point at me?
I'm just saying the rotundness of the nose tackle's belly, not you. I'm not saying you are rotund.
At my rotund
I'm just pointing into the midsection.
Something wrong with you.
Okay, the ability of the nose tackle to be an athlete in space has a lot to do with that. You know, so
yeah. I'm too tall to be.
Am I going to ask Colin Saunders? You know, let me ask you. I mean, you saw him. Are you going to ask him to drop back in zone coverage?
I mean, he would do whatever I think is necessary.
I mean, you know, I'd be a little hesitant to do that.
I bet you he can move a little bit better than you think.
Yeah, no,
Have you seen his interception return last year?
Well, no, I mean,
you need to go check it out.
Yeah, I'll have to get Sexton to get him to call that.
He's done like backflips and all this stuff.
Come on,
yeah,
for real.
Apparently so.
Really.
I don't want him to do it too often.
You got it on video?
I think it's on video.
I got to see that. Is that on X? Anybody got that?
We'll look for it. Our crack research
like for real,
staff,
he's done backflips.
We'll look at this.
Get out of town.
Let's come back in a moment.
I'd totally drop him into coverage then. If he's doing backflips, let's go, man.
We don't need him to do backflips in coverage.
What number is he wearing, by the way?
He is wearing 68.
All right. We'll see where that ends up. You know, veteran guy, he's wearing 50 before. That's currently held by a rookie, so we'll see what happens.
Injury report, final thoughts. Then at 5 o'clock, it's the Liam Coen Show. We'll have James Gladstone and Tony Boselli in studio.
I'm dropping that guy. I just saw him doing backflips on YouTube.
Back in a moment. It's Jaguars Happy Hour.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Boselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
What's Here is a place that generations have trusted to help their kids grow up healthy and strong. What's Here are caregivers with knowledge and expertise rivaling any children's hospital in the world. What's Here is the only Level 1 pediatric trauma center in our region. What's Here is Wolfson Children's Hospital with the technology, research, and dedication to save and change countless young lives. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Is your organization ready to tackle its toughest challenges? For 3 decades, CSI Companies based in Jacksonville has been the trusted workforce partner for leading healthcare and technology providers nationwide. Whether finding the right talent for a specific job, advising on a strategic project, or offering seamless managed services, they tailor every solution to fit your needs. CSI brings trusted expertise and a people-first approach to your organization. Get the job done right. Together, we go further. Learn more at CSICompanies.com.
Are you ready to love how you feel, look, and live in every season? At Elace, we offer more than just luxury med spa treatments. We provide a serene, judgment-free space where you can reconnect with the best version of you. Whether you want to refresh your natural look with Botox or Dysport, pamper yourself with a relaxing hydrofacial, or rejuvenate your complexion with laser resurfacing, our expert team in Jacksonville is here to tailor treatments to your needs. Visit Elace.com today and start your journey to loving yourself.
Hey, Jags fans, stop dreaming of creating your game day fan cave and build the Jaguars den of your dreams with ZipChair. When it comes to maximum comfort, ZipChair.com is the only place for officially licensed Jaguars recliners, sofas, bar stools, office and gaming chairs, all featuring high-quality embroidered Jags logos. Crack open a few cold ones in the comfort of a ZipChair and make your home the place to be on game day. Head over to ZipChair.com and save 20% today. Use code JagsRadio at checkout. ZipChair.com, furniture for fans.
It's just more like, do we want him now or potentially not in, Carolina? Like, it was more just being smart about, the next few weeks, because the ultimate goal is Carolina. So that's the thing that's at top of mind right now. And for him, could he have probably gone? I think so. Like, if this was Carolina, would he have probably played? Yeah. So we're moving in the right direction.
Liam Coen, Jaguars head coach, after practice today in Miami Gardens outside of Hard Rock Stadium at the Dolphins facility. Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. Hyundai Studios on the road this week on 1010XL, 92.5 FM, Jaguars.com, and Jaguars YouTube. JP Shadrick with Jeff Lageman on Jaguars Happy Hour. Time now for the injury report presented by UF Health, the proud healthcare partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Liam Coen there was talking about Travis Hunter. But as he said, if it's a game week, he's going. Didn't want to put him in the team work today. Cornerback Tyson Campbell was in a red jersey Wednesday, did not participate in team activities Thursday today. Similar to the decision regarding Hunter, and Campbell could have also played if it was a regular season game. Out of practice today, rookie wide receiver Eli Pankow. A rookie linebacker, Jalen McLeod's been out for a while with a lower body issue. You mentioned Wyatt Milam, the offensive lineman, with a lower body issue. Reserve offensive lineman Cole Van Lannen's been out all of training camp with a shoulder issue. Caleb Bransaw the same, lower body issue. And cornerback Monteric Brown still with a lower leg issue. That's the injury report.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting as it relates to a couple of those guys there and roster spots. Caleb Bransaw, rookie, right? Safety, a higher pick.
They liked him early.
Expectation is,
sure,
that he's going to make it, and I don't expect anything different. But, you as a coach, I think, and as a decision maker, you would like to have a little bit of, what's the right word? A little bit of proof, a little bit of trust, a reason to have trust. Jalen McLeod, typically a 6th-round pick is not a given. Again, with him, you'd like to have a little bit of intel, a little bit of film to look at and go, that's the guy that we expected to pick. So I think those things are all going to be very interesting when it comes down to the final roster cuts, because the whole purpose is to be able to keep all of the valuable guys that you want. And so hang on. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, and
because just real quick, Jalen McLeod's playing a position that's very interesting. Okay, you're talking about a Sam player. Okay, Sam linebacker. We're also talking about a player that can give you some pass rush ability, like a guard deck, right? Mm-hmm. And so, are you going to find and keep a roster spot for him? Because right now, the Sam Gardeck is your expected starter, in my opinion. You brought him in as a free agent for a reason. 8th-year
player, been at it for a long time, crafted his own career as an undrafted player, has some on-field proof that he can do it.
And they say his mind is one of the best.
Well, we talked to him on pregame last week. He's fantastic conversation, gets it.
Well, then you got Yasir Abdullah, who, by the way, can run like a deer. He can fly, and he is a really good special teams player. So that position, that Sam linebacking position, because I put Yasir Abdullah, Dennis Gardeck, and Jalen McLeod, the rookie, I put them all at that position. And most teams, because it's a two linebacker league for the most part now, because most teams are playing nickel, the Sam is not a position that you go, we're going to keep 3. It's a position that you're going to go, well, we're going to keep 2.
1.5.
Or 1.5.
One that can play.
And one that can play.
One can do special teams.
One that can play the outside, and then one that can play outside and inside.
Yeah,
now,
that's right.
I've never seen Yasir Abdullah cross-train or get reps as a Mike or a Sam. Same thing with Jalen McLeod, the rookie. I haven't seen him crossing. Now, can Gardeck do that? I mean, I don't know. So that's going to be really interesting to watch from that standpoint.
All right, let's look ahead to Saturday night. Jaguars, Dolphins, Hard Rock Stadium, South Florida, Miami Gardens, preseason week 3. What do you expect?
Run the ball. Run the ball. Just run it. Okay? I mean, let's, get the clock going a little bit. But no, I mean, there are some guys I think that are going to be fun to watch. I mean, we're talking about those positions. The Jaguars wide receivers group, and by the way, they had a little bit of attrition because of injury with Joshua Cephas, who many people were singing his praises early in camp, and I thought he had faded of late, and they waived him injured, which he'll revert to the injured reserve list if nobody claims him. So that position I think is now I think there's a spot up for grabs when it comes to that special team spot.
Who do you like, or are they on the team?
Well, that's another great question, JP, because you bring up a point, and it's not just specific to that position and that one roster spot that we're talking about, and that these guys are competing not only with the guys that are in teal, but they're also competing with guys that are around the league, because all those guys that the Jaguars liked maybe in the draft or have had experience with at other places. Let's say Liam knows some guys from Tampa. Campanelli knows some guys from Green Bay, and let's say there's some that come available that's at a position that they feel like they can improve. Okay, and they may bring them in.
Press the issue, yes.
And it's the familiarity of where coaches have been at. And so they have trust with certain guys at other places. And if they become available, those guys are competing with the ones that are in teal right now.
That's fascinating, right, to think about that. So you got to look at the connections of coordinators and certain coaches in the past of guys that have come free. Yeah.
I mean, for example, Nick Mullins. Where'd he come from?
Absolutely, yeah.
Minnesota.
Uh-huh.
Well, who came from Minnesota?
The OC.
Grant Udinski, the offensive coordinator, right? Yes. I mean, that's an example. I mean, that might be a little bit of a layup example, but I mean, there are examples like that across the NFL.
You can't get your hands on all the guys you want in the offseason from your previous stops. So
no, I mean, look at Robert Hainsey. You think Hainsey was brought in with no knowledge of him? Liam Coen knew him very well.
Yeah.
And when you coming into a new spot as a first-time head coach, you want to bring your culture. Why not bring a guy that you believe is a guy that can help carry your culture to that new locker room? So there's another example.
We are closing in on the Liam Coen Show coming up in a couple minutes on the Jaguars Radio Network. We'll have James Gladstone and Tony Boselli. And you know what? Tonight is the night we're going to get answers out of these guys.
Well, you know what I'm looking forward to asking?
Us for weeks on end.
You know what I'm looking forward to asking? There was some scrums today on the field. The first one started, by the way, Dorian Singer, a rookie wide receiver, and Jack Jones, who might be still a little bit sore from the matchup against the Detroit Lions and Amon-Ra St. Brown, which by all purposes, the Detroit Lions released a video, and Amon-Ra was wearing him out, and Jack Jones might be a little salty because all that went out, and he had to respond to it yesterday.
Okay.
And so he gets in a fight with one of the Jaguars rookies today, and then there was another one.
Oh, there was another one.
Was pretty big, and I think Bo and Gladstone got involved. Now, I don't know if they threw any punches or not, but I want to find out if they did. So I'm spreading rumors.
You already are. I can't wait to hear this coming up in about a minute and a half or so. No, there was another one that involved the Jaguars running backs, and then it spilled over into another situation and rolled into the open garage door of the practice facility.
That was kind of like a mini brawl, JP.
It was a full-out punches throwing, and then after that, it seemed like everything, for the most part, they got through the rest of practice.
Yeah, I mean, a little salty today, the last week of preseason now. Everybody's a little salty.
A little testy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Even in here, Jaguars Radio, a little testy today.
Yeah, well, I mean, Joe's always testy.
Yeah.
Reber can be in a mood sometimes,
Yeah.
But Joe's always salty.
Tyler's even keeled all the time.
Tyler's like money every day.
Every single day. We're back in a moment. Tony Boselli, James Gladstone expected to join us for the Liam Coen Show. That's coming up next. Thank you for listening to Jaguars Happy Hour.
Welcome to the Liam Coen Show, presented by Fresh from Florida. JP Shadrick and Jeff Lageman keep you informed and up to date with the head coach of your Jacksonville Jaguars. The Liam Coen Show starts right now.
And welcome in the Liam Coen Show, presented by Fresh from Florida from the Hyundai Studios, on the road this week at the Team Hotel in Fort Lauderdale. After Jaguars-Dolphins joint practice on Thursday, the preseason Week 3 game coming up Saturday, 7 o'clock at Hard Rock Stadium. We're on the Jaguars Radio Network, presented by the University of Florida, #1 university in the U.S. News and World Report's #1 state for education. No Liam Coen tonight. He's expected to and will join us Week 1 of the regular season before the Carolina Panthers matchup at Everbank Stadium. And that's coming up in a couple weeks' time. Coming up tonight, James Gladstone and Tony Boselli slated to join us here on the Liam Coen Show in just a matter of moments. JP Shadrick with Jeff Lageman, Jaguars analyst here at the Team Hotel. And, hey, first time the Jaguars have had more than just an overnight stay away under this regime. And they, got in here last night, Wednesday night, practice field today, meetings tonight, tomorrow, walk through, and then play the game on Saturday, and here we go. So it's the first time with a few days out for this group.
Yeah, and it's I always like going against other teams, and the reason why, give you an example, for example, going back to 95, right? Going against Boselli every day, would take your confidence away.
Right.
Sure. I'm being dead serious.
Uh-huh.
After going against him in one-on-ones and everything, I was like, man, I don't know if I still got it. And so to go against somebody else was good. And then going back even years before that, we used to go and have practices with the Eagles. We had some with the Redskins, and that was their name at the time. And it was always good to go against a different offensive lineman, because every offensive lineman is different, and you always wanted to have a different plan of attack to go against them. Some guys were great with their hands. And they were always a challenge. The guys that were really good with their feet were a challenge. Some guys had bad feet. Some guys liked to punch. Some guys liked to give their hands. And so going against the different body types also was, I think, a great learning experience. Some guys were physical and other guys were more finesse. Mike Ken, if you got to practice against him, he was more finesse, but he could be powerful when he needed to be when he was younger. So always great exposure, and then different schemes, different some teams love to play a certain position grouping, and it's nice to face that. So I think it's very valuable. And then the biggest thing going against another team is that the intensity is ratcheted up a couple of notches. Because, look, when I'm going against, Boselli, me and him had this thing, and we'll talk about it when he comes in here. We would 2 fingers across the chest. And 2 fingers across the chest would mean that make it look real. Yeah. But then when you're going against another team, there was no 2 fingers.
Oh, man.
Okay?
Right. Speaking of Tony Boselli and James Gladstone joining us, this has been an epic run of shows with the EVP and the GM joining us each and every week. It's been so popular that fans are clamoring for a Boselli Gladstone podcast. I think that could be in the cards, but it's really up to you two guys. Good afternoon.
Are we on?
You're on
air?
Yes.
Okay, I can't hear myself. Come on, Joe. Let's get it going.
Yeah, if you all of a sudden lose your hearing, he's going to have to wiggle the wires over there.
Just wiggle. There we go. Now I can hear myself. Thank you, Joe.
He wiggled the wire.
It was out of our control. The NFL said it was non-negotiable. Despite me putting up throwing a fit, did not matter. They say it, it's going to happen. So it's one of those things. It was unfortunate, but I think we got great work. I think Liam and our staff did a great job of pivoting and making sure we got a lot of work against each other. But still, Jeff, you're right. You know this as a player. And you get tired of going against the same guys, play in and play out, day in and day out. And certain guys, I mean, I look at some of our players, you can see when there's an opposite colored jersey across from them.
It's different.
Their play ascends, and they pick it up. And we saw that today out of a couple guys.
And it's also the body types. I mean, as a offensive lineman or as a defensive lineman or as a wide receiver. I mean, example, wide receiver, some corners like to play press, some like to play off, some have great feet, some have great hands. And to be able to go against the different body types and the different techniques is valuable because, I mean, if you're going against the same guy all the time, I mean, you're not getting any reps at anything different.
Right. Well, you get used to, I mean, Jeff, you and I practiced all the time together. And after a number of weeks, it's like, okay, I know what Jeff is going to do.
Yeah, and
you know how it's not helping you. You know how I'm going to set and what I'm going to do. And then all of a sudden you flip it and you get maybe I get more of a speed rusher, a guy who's not going to go power, hands, whatever it is. You get a different looking body as well. And I think it helps you get better as a player in experience, especially for young guys. I mean, I remember as a young guy, getting those different looks helped me a lot in my development because you can kind of almost like playing against a pitcher. You just get a fastball every time. You can start timing it up and get it done. So getting a variety of looks is really important.
And, James, how important is it, too, with this practice, before a preseason game? And now you get an opportunity to get reps to a lot of your key guys, but have it in more of a controlled environment versus in a game which it's, full speed and wide open.
Right. In the design, right, Liam, coaching staff pour a lot of attention into making sure that specific situations get to unfold and specific play calls within those situations so that you can dial it up for player 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. And I think that's key and critical because in the preseason games, you're obviously doing stuff in real time and working off of the scenarios that present themselves at random. So we certainly have leaned into joint practices in our prior experience, that's Liam and I, knowing that those can be controlled scenarios and we can make sure we get in the reps that we feel like we need to get done in the lead up to a season, whereas if you're playing in a preseason game, you can't guarantee that those scenarios will get repped or those plays will get called.
Great point.
So I think that's a helpful piece to joint practices. You can ensure that you can, in fact, get work at those plays and those scenarios with the specific players that you want to try and activate in those sessions. So that's a helpful piece for sure.
Let's come back in a moment. Plenty more ahead. The roster cuts coming up Tuesday at 4 o'clock. We'll get into the final reps for some players Saturday night against the Dolphins as well. This is the Liam Coen Show on Jaguars Radio.
Floridians, do you know how close you are to freshness? It's not a plane or a ship ride away. It's not across an ocean or over the equator. It's not even a far drive. The peak of freshness is at your grocery store, and it's called Fresh from Florida. Fresh from Florida is local produce grown by farmers right here in our own state, meaning it's always fresh, always in season, and always mouth-wateringly good. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo or ask for it by name where you shop.
It's here that a tiny newborn has the heart surgery needed to save her life. It's here that a first grader learns to speak clearly and confidently. It's here that a 12-year-old athlete builds the strength to run full speed again. It's here at Wolfson Children's Hospital that answers are found, courage is shown, and odds are beaten every day. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is a whole lot more than just wings. Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Swing by Mr. Chubby's and indulge in the biggest and best wings in town, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow sports fans. With plenty of game day specials and locations on the West Side, Fleming Island, Ponte Vedra Beach, and new this season, Everbank Stadium, they're here for all your game day needs. Mr. Chubby's Wings is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, Let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Welcome back. The Liam Coen Show, presented by Fresh from Florida, continues right now.
Welcome back from the Team Hotel in Fort Lauderdale. The Liam Coen Show. JP Shadrick, Jeff Lageman, James Gladstone, Tony Boselli for the final time on this program.
Well, you get the head coach next
coming
week.
up week 1.
Yeah, next week you get the head coach, or 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Two weeks you get the head coach. So that'll be exciting.
It's about to get entertaining.
He's looking forward to it. Spend some time with you guys.
We're looking forward to it.
It'll be good.
Well. Our listeners are looking forward to it.
He's great. He does a great job communicating and with our team, with our fans, kind of what we're trying to do and the vision of the team and the style of play we're going to have. And you guys will have a good time with Liam.
Coming up Saturday night, the Jaguars and the Dolphins final preseason game, preseason week 3. Liam Coen said today that a lot of the starting players will probably not dress for this game. How many roster spots are really out there, James, for guys to show up on tape on Saturday night and try to claim? And what do you look for in a game like this when you know guys are fighting for spots?
Yeah, there's still a few spots that are being rounded out, and I think this is just another out for guys to, put their performance on tape for us to evaluate and determine whether or not it's of value to our team moving forward in the early portion of the season. I think a lot of times what maybe goes unthought of is that guys just in the immediate, it's not just about making the initial. That's great and all, but so many of these guys are actually also going to play a part at some point further down the line when attrition comes into play, right? The injuries occur, and these are guys that we may have to call on at certain points. And even you talk about the longer-term developmental lens, right? That this is the foundation for many of the first-year guys that, they're still getting settled in and figuring it out, and they're going to now have a chance to get a longer stretch of plays in a single game, whereas in, the past 2 weeks they've felt more second half, fourth quarter, maybe final drive only. So now they get to string together drives, and that can present something new that we haven't seen from many of the people that are going to be on the grass, because they've had reps that have come few and far between, knowing that in practice sessions, a lot of those ops go to the first, second, third teams, and this now includes a lot of the fourth team guys.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, as James said, let's call it a handful, whatever that number is, of spots on the 53-man. There's 16 practice squad spots that people are competing for as well. And not just the 16 spots that we have. Every team, all of the 31, have 16 spots. So obviously we're looking across the league, and we're going to work and continue to work. Our pro department's done a great job of looking at all the players that could be available. And so don't think about this just as the handful of spots for the 53. These guys are competing for 16 spots on our practice squad roster, as well as all the spots that are around the leagues.
Along those lines, I think it's an interesting question for me, James, is that how do you balance the intel that you have from eyes watching them directly versus another guy around the league?
Right.
Because, look, the reality is, guys are competing on your roster for a spot on your roster, and they're competing with the guy next to him, but also a guy maybe somewhere else.
No doubt. And I think at the same time, right, for people in our building, you can have almost too much information to be working with, or not with the guys out of the building, right, not enough information to be working. It's not apples to apples.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing.
real decision.
I was going to
right?
do that anyway.
And how do you factor?
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
NFL fans, when it's time to get Jaguars tickets, you can tackle game day with total certainty with Ticketmaster. With 100% verified tickets available all season long, you can count on getting in with ease and spend time focusing on the good stuff. Even if you're headed to the game last minute, you can still score seats. Want to meet up inside the stadium with your crew? Transferring your tickets is an easy handoff. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
Popsicles, sprinklers, a cool breeze. Talk about refreshing. You know what else is refreshing this summer? A brand new phone with Verizon. Yep, get a new phone on any plan with Select Phone Trade-In and My Plan. And lock down a low price for 3 years on any plan with My Plan. This is a deal for everyone, whether you're a new or existing customer. Swing by Verizon today for our best phone deals. 3-year price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate only. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Ranked one of the nation's top universities, the University of Florida is on a mission to transform education. UF continues to help grow the economy through research breakthroughs and leadership in AI. And with its nationally recognized career services, UF students and graduates have never been better prepared to make a difference in the world. To learn more about how the University of Florida fuels bold ideas that make an impact around the globe, visit fromflorida.ufl.edu.
Can you imagine rising for work before the crack of dawn? Tending to hundreds of acres of land before dusk? Well, that's what happens on 47,000 Florida farms every day. Florida's farmers work hard to grow nutritious food for you and your family. And you can help support them by enjoying delicious Fresh from Florida produce. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo where you shop or visit freshfromflorida.com to learn more.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is a whole lot more than just wings. Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Swing by Mr. Chubby's and indulge in the biggest and best wings in town, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow sports fans. With plenty of game day specials and locations on the West Side, Fleming Island, Ponte Vedra Beach, and new this season, Everbank Stadium, they're here for all your game day needs. Mr. Chubby's Wings is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game. The moment you drop off donations at a North Florida Goodwill, your things start new lives. A donated jersey helps someone suit up for success through education and training. A pair of old cleats helps a job seeker step confidently into new career opportunities. Every donation fuels Goodwill's mission to provide education, training, and career opportunities, removing barriers to employment and building brighter futures across our community. To find your nearest donation center and learn more, visit goodwillnorthfl.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
Hi, it's Sam Kavaris. You might know that Echo East Coast Transportation is the official transportation provider of the Jaguars. I've been a client of theirs for more than 30 years because they're from here and they're Jaguar fans too. So if you're looking for prearranged transportation from the simple to the complex, call them at 904-631-5466 or find them online at ectjax.com and use the code SAM in the special instructions box for your 15% Jaguars discount. And if you want to talk Jaguars, they can do that too.
Welcome back. The Liam Coen Show, presented by Fresh from Florida, continues right now.
And welcome back. The Liam Coen Show continues. Leonard Skinner is coming home, and they're bringing the Stars and Stripes with them. Celebrate Southern rock and American pride with Skinner rocks the red, white, and blue. It's a special night to support St. Michael soldiers and the brave men and women of the U.S. Armed Forces. Saturday, November 8th at Daly's Place. Tickets now, dailysplace.com, or call 904-633-2000. J.P. Shadrick, Jeff Lageman, Tony Boselli, James Gladstone. James, have you been to a Skinner concert?
I have not.
Well, we're going to begin November 8th. Come on, man.
I'll tap in. Let's go.
Tony?
What night of the week is that?
It's a Saturday night.
Yeah, I think I have been to a Skinner.
At home?
Yeah, well, they were at Everbank.
Yeah, I saw
stadium
Skinner.
shows.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Right. Got to check them out.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was it the country band that opened up for him?
Oh, there was Jason Aldean, Kid Rock,
No,
Marshall Tucker.
No.
Oh, they all opened up for the Skinner.
Yeah, I
show.
can't remember who it was, but it was.
Well, that's who it was.
Really good.
That's who it was. I just told
anyway,
you
they put on a great show.
Who it was. That's coming up. Hey, all right, final thoughts here, guys, before we get you out of here. You got more film to watch and things to do. And, hey, the roster cuts coming up, 50. Can you believe it? It's just gone fast this preseason, this whole training camp? Or is it, I can't believe you're finally at the 53. Has it been a long kind of grind here, James? What's your feel as you get to the final cut?
It has gone fast for me, I'd say. I don't know that I would label it as some version of a grind. I get a ton of fulfillment hourly, daily, weekly in this role. So for me, it's definitely gone by fast, and I think usually good things do, right? So I'm excited to still see that this team's identity being shaped in real time, the theme that is presenting itself, right? From one game to the next, from one practice to the next, and now a joint practice is physicality is showing up on every side of the line of scrimmage and the back end for our defense, our wide receivers showing a grit and a level of interest in what they do for the ball carriers. It is now a part of this team, and very happy that that's the case. I think, obviously, once we get into real game settings in the regular season, like for that to show itself there. But the fact that that's presenting in a real way, in a consistent way, is something that I'm really happy with.
All right, so I got to bring something up because I kind of went on a little bit of a rant earlier.
No, you never do
Shocking.
that. You never do that.
And,
Shocking, Duval.
And I got to throw you guys some credit because I walk out on the field today. And this is good. And I walk out on the field today and I see a Jaguars football team, and we're in the uniform of the day. Okay, we got our black pants on, we got our white jerseys on, we look sharp, we look prepared. Okay, coaches look great, and team apparel. And I look across the field, I see, Daisy Duke pants on for the Dolphins players. Some are cut off. Some are down to the knees.
They weren't that high, Logs.
Everything was a little bit different. And then I see a pair of school bus yellow sneakers on, which the last time I checked, that's not a team color. Just credit to when you guys came out, you look like a team.
Well, I think, one of the things that we've talked about, that James, Liam, and I have talked about a lot, is there's a standard of what it means to be a Jacksonville Jaguar. There's a style of play. There's a level of physicality, approach, and what we're going to do. And I think Liam has set the standard and has communicated that team and the expectations. And that's great, but then you have to hold the line and be accountable. And I give our players a ton of credit. They've bought in. They listen to the coaching staff and what the expectations are and how we're going to approach everything we do, because everything matters. And I think you see, are we where we want to be? No. But are we progressing? Are we making progress? Are we getting better day in and day out? And I think the little things matter, how you do everything, whether it's at the facility, day in and day out, how we meet, how we communicate, how the whole staff works. This is not just about our players. It's how we operate as an organization. That's very important. And I think, you look at the team that came out today. Was it perfect? Not even close. But James talked about it. We've watched the tape. We've talked. We're going to go watch more. The one thing you can't question about the guys in how they approach it, they're out there and they're physical. They play hard. They're professional. They're doing what they're asked. We got to continue to clean things up. We got to continue to get better. I think we will. And our coaching staff's done a great job. James and the team have done a great job. I think if you look over the last, we talk so much about free agency in the draft of building this team. It's a never-ending process. We've brought guys in that had to show up in August. Our pro scouts finding guys get hurt. We have to add, make sure we have position depth. We've brought in players that are out there competing and practicing well and doing what we ask. So we will continue to grow, continue to evolve. And as someone who's been around here, Jeff, we've been here since the beginning. I think what it means to be a Jaguar and how you approach means something to you and I from being here from day one. What's been a lot of fun for me, going back to, I think JP you asked, has it been a grind? Has it gone fast? Mm-hmm. To me, it's been a blur in a good way, because you got
We'll just start at the top with James and Liam and I, and how we operate and the communication and how we value each other and work together, our staff, the people in the building. I think everyone's answered the call, understands what it means and what we're expecting. And it's not a grind. I mean, how can it be a grind when you're doing something you love to do? We talk about all the time. We get to do this. We get to be a part of the NFL. We get to be a Jacksonville Jaguar. We get to show up every day to work and go compete. And so when you have that approach and that mindset, I think it changes your entire perspective of what you're doing. And we just need to continue to do that, because we're going to face some adversity. There's going to be some tough times. We're going to have tough decisions to make. Not to break news here, we're going to lose a football game probably at some point. And how we respond and how we face that adversity, that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to looing, obviously, but I'm looking forward to when it gets tough. How do we as an organization dig in and work together and attack the opportunity that's in front of us? And so looking forward to that opportunity. Got another opportunity coming up at Hard Rock, preseason game 3. You talked about a lot of guys that, are starters or contributors, might not play, but, man, go watch a bunch of young guys go compete and try to earn a spot in the NFL to fulfill their dream. How cool is that?
We haven't talked about the Saints game here in this session, but I think so much, just to provide a little bit of perspective, is obviously we're evaluating performance in those preseason games, but we're also looking at response. You mentioned the word response, right? You watch our offense against the Saints on our first drive, move the ball fairly well, and then you get down inside the red zone, and there's a negative play that results in a turnover. Well, the response to that's a negative, right? That's not a good thing to have turned the ball over. But the response to that is a defensive stop, a special teams return, an offensive drive that leads to a touchdown. That, from our perspective, is progress. That is a positive sign to see that there's not a negative followed by a negative, or a trickle-down effect from that event, right? That's an unlucky event in that game that didn't compound. In fact, it was met with a positive off of it. And that's some momentum that you can continue to lean into and be excited about, assuming that we're going to face more stressful scenarios, adverse scenarios along the way here.
All right, just don't let me see you guys wearing school bus yellow sneakers.
No comment. James Gladstone, Tony Boselli. It's been a pleasure for the last, 5 weeks doing this.
Yeah, 5 weeks. You're not going to hear from us until we hear from James. James will be talking next week, so that'll be good. And then after that, you guys got the coach, and our players will be speaking up, and we're looking forward to it and can't wait to kick it off, opening day at Everbank. I hope everyone's excited. I know we are, to get a chance to go out there and play the Carolina Panthers, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's always better when it's real.
They're going to start keeping score.
That's right.
And everything counts. But our mentality, in all seriousness, everything we do matters. From the first time we stepped into this together, hire James Gladstone, the first thing we do, we fly to the combine not knowing each other barely. What we did that day mattered, and every day matters. We kind of say in joking, but at the same time very serious. Tomorrow, Saturday night, I guess today's Thursday. Saturday night, that's the most important game in franchise history, because it matters. What we do, how we approach it, how we show up. A lot of these guys might not be on our roster, but how they go out there and play the game is a representation of us as an organization, as a team. So everything matters, and we're going to attack and compete in everything we do.
Just like there's no way that's the most
it's the most important thing.
Franchise history. I've been in those games.
The best thing is, last night, I'll end with this. We're at dinner last night with the wives, because this is the wives trip as well. So all the coaches' wives came, and
that's why you guys were late.
Yeah, no, we were not. So all the coaches' wives came, our wives came, and we were just having a little dinner last night. And my wife asked, just very innocently asked James, says, James, what are you trying to get out of the game? Like, how do you approach this, and what's this mean? And James looks at our straight face. He says, Angie, this is the most important game in the history of the franchise. And she looked at him like, what are you talking about? And the best is,
totally baffled.
And then we fast forward and we go to bed, and we're upstairs in the room, and Angie looks at me, he's like, You know, James said that he never really answered my question. And she asked me again, and I said, this is the most important game in the franchise.
Because it's the next one.
It's the next. Yeah. She just said, yeah, I'm going to bed. Good night.
That's a great way to end, guys. James, Tony, great to see you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys. It's been a blast.
Back with more in a moment. This is the Liam Coen Show on the Jaguars Radio Network.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with EverBank. Open an EverBank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. EverBank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
Ranked one of the nation's top universities, the University of Florida is on a mission to transform education. UF continues to help grow the economy through research breakthroughs and leadership in AI. And with its nationally recognized career services, UF students and graduates have never been better prepared to make a difference in the world. To learn more about how the University of Florida fuels bold ideas that make an impact around the globe, visit fromflorida.ufl.edu.
Popsicles, sprinklers, a cool breeze. Talk about refreshing. You know what else is refreshing this summer? A brand new phone with Verizon. Yep, get a new phone on any plan with Select Phone Trade-in and My Plan. And lock down a low price for 3 years on any plan with My Plan. This is a deal for everyone, whether you're a new or existing customer. Swing by Verizon today for our best phone deals. 3-year price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate only. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
NFL fans, when it's time to get Jaguars tickets, you can tackle game day with total certainty with Ticketmaster. With 100% verified tickets available all season long, you can count on getting in with ease and spend time focusing on the good stuff. Even if you're headed to the game last minute, you can still score seats. Want to meet up inside the stadium with your crew? Transferring your tickets is an easy handoff. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
Welcome back. The Liam Coen Show, presented by Fresh from Florida, continues right now.
The Liam Coen Show, yes, presented by Fresh from Florida. And don't miss your chance to score an exclusive Brian Thomas Jr. bobblehead and a ticket to see the Jags take on the Chargers, Colts, or Jets at Everbank Stadium. This special offer won't last, Logs. So one bobblehead comes with every ticket. Get yours today, 904-633-2000, or email ticketing@jaguars.com.
What would you say if they came out with a J.P. Shadrick bobblehead?
It's the baldest bobblehead I've ever seen. And that's what I would say. It'd be the baldest bobblehead.
Would it have a beard or no beard?
That's a great question.
I'm just asking.
Either way, it's a don't miss collectible. Right?
We got to see if we can.
There's got to be
maybe come up with one.
We need a Jeff Lageman first, though.
I wonder how much it would cost to go to production to make a J.P. Shadrick bobblehead.
Who would sponsor it? Nobody. That would be the question. The answer.
I don't know.
To
You never know.
James Gladstone, Tony Boselli. Thanks again to those guys throughout this whole preseason, jumping in and giving us some insight to the mindset of the organization, building it from a GM perspective. Tony and his role, and then Really looking forward to having the head coach in here starting week 1.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because he's a pleasure to talk to, and very, very open, very honest. I don't want to say completely transparent, but as transparent as a coach can be. I think that's going to be exciting for the fan base to feel Liam and to kind of really to get to know him, and I think that's going to be exciting as well. And he's a very smart man, and he's only been in the league I think only like 5 years, but when I've talked to him, I have gotten the impression that he's been around for a lot longer than that, and that has impressed me.
What impressed you about the joint practice today in terms of the Jaguar perspective of things? What went well? What didn't go so well?
Well, I just like the idea of like we were talking about earlier about going against different schemes, different body types, and then the intensity level gets ratcheted up and then sometimes leads to a little too much, which is the altercation.
Some guy's idea of, thud might be a little more aggressive than the other team.
Right, and you get to the point where, you get a couple fists thrown here and there, and it happened, and that's okay. You just got to make sure that you don't get carried away too far. But I think that's what's so valuable about these practicing with other teams thing. Again, just like we talked about how you can expose, and James brought up a great point about you can actually manufacture situations for your team to be in that maybe in a preseason game you otherwise wouldn't get. And I think that's a great point on his part. And the thing that I think might be a little disappointing about today is that it wasn't as long as a normal practice would be with another team. The Miami Dolphins had already done a practice with the Detroit Lions. They've already done practices with the Chicago Bears.
And multi-day practices too, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And so, they were, I think I was getting kind of nervous last week that they may call and say, hey, look, we're out. We can't do it.
Or beat up, whatever.
Yeah. And the Jaguars, as Tony talked about, him trying to line up the Atlanta Falcons, then the league changing the preseason schedule at the last minute, and it didn't work out. And that's unfortunate. I mean, every coach likes to have as many opportunities to test a new roster as they can get. So I thought today was valuable. I just wish it was a little bit more in-depth than what it was. I want to say the first team guys probably got in the range of 20 reps. That's not a lot of reps, for a practice. If you go and you look at the number of reps that Liam Coen was getting with his team going to the scrimmages, it would have been in the 40-50 range. So you're basically got about half the work in with the Dolphins as you might get on your own or if you were doing a normal practice with another team.
Trevor Lawrence spoke after practice today, and he wasn't overall pleased, I think, with the offense. He threw a couple of picks in the practice, but he knows it's a process, and it's just part of the piece of getting better. But, it's going to be really his last full competitive practice. They'll practice a few times between now and the regular season, but next time he's out there is week 1 against Carolina. Where does he stand right now?
And I think it's a great question about where he's at right now. And to be honest with you, today I watched a lot of the defense. I watched the offense when they were in one-on-ones, and then I watched the offensive line. And then when it went to the team thing like James was talking about, if you try to focus on everything, then you don't watch anything.
That's right.
So I watched the offense for the very beginning part, and then after that I focused in on the defense. And I thought it would be a really good test for the defense. Just Tua's got a really good release. He's quick. Waddle's a great receiver. And so I was focused on it. And tonight I'll watch the film. But here's the thing. Yeah. By the time we talk next, which is going to be in 2 weeks, okay, nobody's going to care about Trevor's performance in the Miami game.
No. Not at all.
But we'll, I'll watch it tonight and see how he did, because then we can – that's really going to be the last exposure we probably have of Trevor leading into the opening game against Carolina.
And then to the point that you watched today on the defensive side, how did they fare against Tua and Waddle and the speedsters and what they can do? Tyreek Hill wasn't out there.
What I like the best, okay, you got the return of your 2 defensive tackles, I think, which is very important.
Big.
And Mason Smith and Eric Armstead. I mean, having those 2 guys back is big. And again, I said that I thought that they made a couple nice plays in certain instances. But what I loved the best about the defense was their intensity. you could tell that they were kind of rallying around each other. Because in practice, you're tired, you're going against the same guys, but then when you go against another team, you've got to pull together. I saw a defense that pulled together today to become one, and it wasn't about, I'm competing against this guy for time and a roster spot. It was, hey, put an arm around all of us, and then say, hey, look, we're on the same team, let's go. And I thought that was real cool. And here's the other thing that I think that really impressed me today. James Campanelli was here in Miami for a couple years.
Anthony, yes.
Excuse me, Anthony.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the linebacker of the Green Bay Packers. I get that name stuck in my head sometimes. But he spent quite a few years here in Miami. And I know a number of different people on the Miami Dolphins staff. And from Renzo Shepard to John, the equipment guy, to some of their coaches, everybody that I talked to today all brought up Campanelli, every one of them, and said to me that you've got a really good guy and a really good coach. And hearing that from an organization where a guy spent time at, to me speaks volumes, because a lot of times when a coach ends up going to a place and then he leaves and they're like, yeah, he's a good guy, but they were just going on and on about how high quality of a coach, high quality of a guy that he is. And that made me feel really good because, the Jaguars as an organization, look, and as fans, we're all going into this with a new defensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. And when as Josh Hines-Allen is that good as Josh Hines-Allen said the same thing, said, I love the man that Anthony Campanelli is. Hearing that today from the people that work for the Miami Dolphins made me feel really good about Liam Coen's decision to bring in Campanelli as a defensive coordinator.
Let's come back in a moment. Our final thoughts ahead of preseason week 3, the Jaguars and the Dolphins coming up Saturday night. This is the Liam Coen Show on Jaguars Radio.
Floridians, do you know how close you are to freshness? It's not a plane or a ship ride away. It's not across an ocean or over the equator. It's not even a far drive. The peak of freshness is at your grocery store, and it's called Fresh from Florida. Fresh from Florida is local produce grown by farmers right here in our own state, meaning it's always fresh, always in season, and always mouth-wateringly good. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo or ask for it by name where you shop.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is a whole lot more than just wings. Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Swing by Mr. Chubby's and indulge in the biggest and best wings in town, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow sports fans. With plenty of game day specials and locations on the West Side, Fleming Island, Ponte Vedra Beach, and new this season, Everbank Stadium, they're here for all your game day needs. Mr. Chubby's Wings is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game. The moment you drop off donations at a North Florida Goodwill, your things start new lives. A donated jersey helps someone suit up for success through education and training. A pair of old cleats helps a job seeker step confidently into new career opportunities. Every donation fuels Goodwill's mission to provide education, training, and career opportunities, removing barriers to employment and building brighter futures across our community. To find your nearest donation center and learn more, visit goodwillnorthfl.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives. Restaurant Orsay is a bustling French-American bistro focusing on classic French techniques with their chefs incorporating a traditional Southern influence. Celebrate life's special moments or just relax and enjoy their daily happy hour. Restaurant Orsay also offers full-service catering for any of your event needs. Restaurant Orsay, located in historic Avondale at 3630 Park Street. Visit www.restaurantorsay.com.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 177, has been powering Jacksonville since 1912. Powering where we compete, where we're entertained, our bridges and highways, and where we live and work. IBEW 177 has been powering Jacksonville for more than a century and will continue long into the future. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 177, is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
What's Here is a place that generations have trusted to help their kids grow up healthy and strong. What's Here are caregivers with knowledge and expertise rivaling any children's hospital in the world. What's Here is the only Level 1 pediatric trauma center in our region. What's Here is Wolfson Children's Hospital with the technology, research, and dedication to save and change countless young lives. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Welcome back. The Liam Coen Show, presented by Fresh from Florida, continues right now.
And we are on the Jaguars Radio Network, presented by the University of Florida, #1 university in the U.S. News and World Report's #1 state for education. JP Shadrick with Jeff Lageman. We're at the Team Hotel in Fort Lauderdale after a Jaguars-Dolphins joint practice today at the Dolphins facility. Ahead of preseason week 3, Saturday night, 7 o'clock, 7:08 the official kickoff time. We'll go on air on the network at 6 o'clock with countdown to kickoff to get you ready. And plenty to I think, well, there's not going to be a lot of frontline starting players that dress for this game. However, there are still some roster spots to be gained and some younger players, guys who are fighting for those spots, not only here but the other teams in the league. But there's still some things out there.
I'll give you some names to watch.
Yeah, who you got?
I'll give you some names to watch, okay? Sal Wormley, the rookie offensive lineman, he's been playing guard and center from Penn State, wears number 61. I think he's got a chance of being a pretty good pro. Now, just like they were talking about opportunities to make not only just the roster but practice squad, I think practice squad is where he may end up being. He's a guy to watch. Running backs, Jaquindon Jackson, 38. Okay, he's been with the Jaguars all camp, but he's had very sparse playing time so far. I want to see him. And then they signed another guy, Kevin Harris. Not that excited to see him. I think he was brought in to kind of handle some load.
Just for this week.
Chandler Brayboy is a guy, the wide receiver, that's got some special teams ability, wears number 15, I think is another one to keep an eye on. Eli Pancol is another one, I think, that's got the size to play special teams, wears number 10 in the wide receiving room. I think he's got a chance defensively.
Have they figured out the safety stuff?
I think that's still going to be. I think that's still going to be going. Antonio Johnson, I think, has still got to show some things. Daniel Thomas, Darnell Savage, I think those guys are kind of all still in the mix, and see how all of those guys play. I think is going to be something to watch for. Does Colin Saunders play at all to get some reps in a system that he's just kind of entered into? And the linebackers, I mean, is going to be must-watch TV to me, just because you're talking about Chad Muma, Jack Kaiser, Branson Combs, Dennis Gardeck, Yasir Abdullah. I mean, all these guys, you know, what's the number going to be at linebacker? Is it going to be 6? You know, some teams go even to 7 when you've got high-quality guys that can play in space and special teams. But that is a position that really I think needs to be watched. I mean, the defensive line, I think you got a pretty good idea of where it's going to be. But the 2 guys to watch there, B.J. Green, who is ultra twitchy, the rookie from Colorado, wears number 95, is a guy that I'm going to be watching, and I really thought he had a really good game against New Orleans. Danny Strigow's a guy that also is one to watch. He didn't have, and to me, if I had to make a choice between Strigow and B.J. Green, right now I'd take B.J. Green. He's just a little bit more twitchy, but watch both of them. 95 is B.J. Green, Danny Strigow, number 92. Those 2 rookie edge players are I think, got the talent to make this team in some way, shape, or form and eventually be good football players.
Strigo 6'5", 255 out of Minnesota, and Green 6'1", 270 out of Colorado.
6'1", 270. He's a hard head.
Yeah.
And like I said, JP, he's twitchy. There's certain guys that have that quick twitch power. And that's the thing that impressed me about B.J. Green last week, is that he was able to finish plays because of that quick power that he has and never stayed blocked. And to me, I think this is a guy that's going to be an eventual starter and to be a really good one.
And then, of course, roster cuts come Tuesday at 4 o'clock. That's the official deadline. Then there's a waiver period, and you could be out seeing what's available after the fact as well.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, there's been teams in the Jaguars' past where you've seen anywhere from 5 to 7 different changes on the roster from the outside. I don't anticipate that, but if I had to put a number on it, I would say maybe 2 or 3. Being different from what is on this roster currently. Now I'm talking about the 53 now. If it's the 53, maybe 2. The practice squad, who knows?